Hello twin flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. We are going to take a look, this is going to be a classic week. We're going to take a look at what's happening with Divine Feminine Collective, Divine Masculines, what is the energy of the connection at this time, and if we have time we'll ask one additional question. Okay, let me get started. So I'm starting with the Oracle deck as usual, and today is going to be the Cosmic Journey Oracle. So let's see what we have. I do have my lamp on just as a reminder that we are still experiencing impact from the new moon. Not the full moon, of course, but the new moon in Cancer that took place on Tuesday this week. We are also slowly approaching the 7/7 portal that's going to be happening next Thursday. So I'll definitely do at least one reading, maybe even two readings with regards to that. We'll see. I have some ideas. Maybe I'll do like a feminine and masculine read separately, because there are a few things that I like to take a look at from that perspective. Sorry, I have one of the decks that just keeps sliding on my table. Maybe one of these days I'll get a better table. Okay. It's one of those coffee tables that is like a little bit on the angle. Sometimes it gets fun. Okay, so what do we have for Divine Feminines? Please remember this is a general reading, so take only what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if you like what I'm doing, don't forget to click the like button, to subscribe to my channel, or to leave a comment. Feminines have count number 7. I was just talking about 7/7 portal. Close your eyes to open your heart. Yep. To me, this is 100% ground chakra. And although it speaks about the heart, if we dig a little deeper and, we think about the numerology of 7 and opening up the channel with the source, right, it's going to be primarily crown chakra, and hence the purple color in the card. So what I'm also getting with this, especially with the part that says close your eyes, is it's asking you to find that state of calm, even if for some reason you're going through something in life and objectively it's not something that you can go through peacefully and calmly, right? You're still asked to find those moments where you can do that, at least for your, biologically, for your nervous system, to have those time slots of break, of relaxing, right? If you at least can sleep through the night, even in those harder times, more challenging, triggering times, that's a very great start. And I would say that you can also do the connectivity with the source, work on that channel, as you're falling asleep, and in the morning when you're waking up, this could be a good runway for that relationship, for that communication. What do we have for Divine Masculines? I'm supposed to have some record-breaking temperatures in New York area today. Definitely over 100 degrees is in the forecast. We'll see. A light grows brighter only by lighting another. This is for Divine Masculine since number 2. Again, very fitting. This is about energy exchange, right? To me, this card is a lot about inspiration, actually. And these extra jolts of inspiration that we get when we help somebody else, when we advise on something, when we teach someone. And you can put it in any context you want. It can be more official or more academic, or it can be very casual. I don't know, maybe you are teaching your friend or relative a new recipe or something, right? It doesn't have to be very structured and official. It can be anything at all. Or, lending a helping hand. And maybe you're trying something new for yourself while you're helping, right? And then you're like, oh, maybe you're even helping somebody move this weekend. But then suddenly you realize how great it is, and then fill in the blank, how great it is to be able to get rid of a lot of clutter while you're moving. or it's a great opportunity to redecorate, like to change your whole approach to the interior design. Or, you know, it's just this new opportunity to get a bigger space that you've always wanted, or high ceilings, or whatever else, right? And this immediately just puts you in a great mood, and it will stay there for a while until it becomes a routine, it becomes like business as usual. So you can look at it from many different angles, but what the emphasis I'm seeing here is noticing, you know, sharing with another, or even observing what other people are doing, and, you know, being supportive, like providing your resources, your energy for that. That immediately ignites you as well. That's what we have for Divine Masculines today. Maybe that will be helping somebody move over the weekend, who knows. For the main deck, I'm using the Souls on Fire today, my funny deck, fun deck, not funny, fun deck. It's a casual Friday today in the house. Okay, let's see what we have, what's currently happening for Divine Feminines on the journey. What's the energy like? Ooh, Justice, I like it. So it could feel a little bit like that, like you're walking on the edge, like it's hard to keep yourself in balance. You're just talking about that, right? Staying calm, staying peaceful. It can be really hard at times. But what I'm seeing here is you're managing it really well, or at least the spirit is telling me that, you know, you're doing a great job. Ooh, and we have the Fool for the masculines. Wow, love it. We'll pull a clarifier as well. What's the energy of the connection at this time? Three of Swords. Alrighty, and let's ask the question, what kind of scenarios, what kind of lessons are the twins learning today? Learning can be passive and active, speaking as a professional teacher. Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, love it, love it, love it. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Wands. Yeah, to me, again, this is that communication with spirit. Yeah, and I'm gonna be using my After Tarot card deck for the clarifier. Let's clarify the Justice card. Okay, let's clarify the Fool. Please, it's got Justice. Yeah, you see it's mirroring everywhere. You have Justice on the forefront, masculines have Justice on the background. Let's clarify Three of Swords for the connection. All right. Let's clarify Knight of Pentacles. Thank you. That was fast. King of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So, deep feeling, something that you are keeping to yourself, both of the twins, right? That's what I'm getting. In this card, actually, since it's After Tarot, there's an additional twist to the original card, right? He's pouring out one of the cups. Oh, actually, that's the only cup, right? He's pouring it out. But it's kind of like... I'm getting this is still rumination or reflection with oneself. It's more like I'm actually gonna acknowledge my feelings. I'm gonna be aware of them, or I am getting aware of them. It's important, I know that. Still not necessarily sharing with the world, but I'm gonna go through it myself, which is healthy, which helps healing. And from what I'm seeing, there's definitely healing process happening today. So for feminines, we have Justice card clarified by Hierophant, both major arcanas. And actually we had both major arcanas for the masculine as well. So there is definitely divine intervention happening. And you could be noticing more synchronicities with your journey and your DM journey these days. But most importantly, what I'm getting here is the guides and the divine trying to point you to the right direction of what is going to be, almost like helping you find not even a shortcut, but like point you, like light up the way for you. That's a good metaphor for it. That's what I mean. kind of like if you were trying to find your way in the darkness, where, you know, it's trial and error basically, right? Sometimes you're more successful, sometimes not so much. But this is like turning on a bright light so you can clearly see where to go. So it's not even necessarily, it's an interesting twist to it. It's not necessarily that you will be shown the road, but you will see what's happening. You will see things for what they are. And that's the critical point for the twins to be able to make more conscious choices and see what is going to be to the highest good of everyone involved, right? And that's the balance, that's the justice, really, right? Making a choice to the highest good of everyone involved. That's a skill, that's a, you know, that's an expertise that you can have. How do you define that? How do you find out what it is? Because it could be very, very different under different conditions. It's not like a manual that you can always follow XYZ rules or an algorithm and you'll find it. No. That's why you need to go with your heart, right? Close your eyes and see with your heart. So for the feminines, we have clarification of the Hierophant. So the feminine I'm getting here is closing out on the point of how to reach the right audience, how to find your audience, who are you going to serve, who can really benefit from your gifts, from your experience, from your life journey. And you may get surprised today where your loyal fans will be found, right? Somewhere or in the area where you didn't even think that that was useful. I don't know. So for example, if I were talking about biomechanics and connection to your body, from my experience of like general fitness and also dancing, and then suddenly, I don't know, a retired athlete would contact me and maybe they were doing something like, let's say, martial arts, right? And they'll be like, oh, it's so interesting, I want to know more, and maybe we can do this. And I'd be like, I would never think that that would be my audience. And I'm not gonna get into the details of why not, or, you know, the contemplation on the topic, because it could be anyone in theory, but you still kind of know your audience. And when you're going for your more like conscious service and you know, making it a main occupation, you're supposed to know your audience. At least what are you aiming for? Who will be interested? Who is interested, right? Because that's how you can target it better with more suitable content, something that people will actually hear, will digest, and it will make a difference. And of course, that will be, you know, will be beneficial for you, what you're trying to achieve in your mission. So this is like an interesting discovery, or this is like getting more information about who is your audience, who is listening, right? This is you, the Hierophant in this case, Divine Feminine. And these are your people. You're getting to know them. In a nutshell. For masculines, we have the Fool card clarified by the Justice. And notice actually in this deck, the Justice and the Hierophant are very similar, but they're still not the same. And yeah, so what I'm seeing here is the Divine Masculine is ready to expand their horizons and their framework of thinking in order to make a choice that will be of the highest good to everyone, right? Like imagine that judge that's like trying to make a fair judgment of the case, right? To rule the case in a fair way, right? It's like that, but Divine Masculine is being one of the participants in this case. So they're both the judge and the judged one. And there are other people involved, as it usually is in life. So they are taking a leap of faith to make a choice that will be beneficial to everyone, like to the highest good, not just one person, or not just for a little while, but you know, they're trying to follow their intuition there, which is not an easy thing to do. And yeah, I'm getting here that it takes a lot of bravery. And you see, it's interesting that the Fool is looking to the sun, and we had that kind of lighting up, or that sunny energy here. And that's where I see the healing part, where because your light grows brighter, yeah, we become more prominent ourselves, we become more seen when we are in our truth. And that's the key, one of the key aspects of this decision making for Divine Masculine right now. Being the truth gets you to be more authentic, gets you to light brighter, your light to be brighter, and you can be seen by others about who you are, how amazing you are, let's put it that way. For the connection, we had Three of Swords clarified by Five of Cups and Knight of Cups in reverse. Yeah, so like I was saying, healing, it's healing time, but it doesn't mean that it's just like, sometimes it happens more naturally, right? There was divine intervention. Here you can see it's only minor arcana, so this is in the hands of the twins themselves. And you know, sometimes we get extra help, and that's important. Sometimes we're supposed to do things on our own, and that's an important part of the journey. So this is the time for the twins to find their own cure, to find their own love, where right now it may feel like it's loveless, certain aspects, or maybe the connection itself. There's lack of like nurture and kindness. At least there is an illusion about it, right? Because we know this love is, you know, is endless, is bottomless. But that's the feeling right now. There is some hurt, there is some fear, fear that it's not gonna pan out, right? Seeing the glass half empty. Although, as we're seeing these cards in, especially this one in the reverse, that's where I'm getting that this is something that is like fleeting energy. It's passing by, and the twins are supposed to feel it, to process it, to release it. It could have been some past hurt that maybe you've brushed under the carpet, you know, because you weren't ready to face it then. Or it seemed like no big deal. You told yourself that maybe. And now suddenly it comes up again, and you're like, well, I thought that was no big deal. Why is it coming back to me? Maybe you're reminded, you're triggered by something else, and you're like, yeah, well, apparently it was a big deal. But we are peeling off the onion layers as we are ready for it, right? Now it's time to peel off this one. And when you heal and when you approach this experience without emotions, that's where it becomes wisdom that you can take with yourself as something valuable, not as a burden. Notice the difference, right? Not as a burden, but as a valuable asset to your journey. Okay, for what the twins are learning now, we have Knight of Pentacles clarified by Page of Wands and Six of Pentacles in reverse. So this is about walking your talk. That's what I'm getting here. This is about not rushing into anything. This is about just knowing where you're going and confidently getting there. This is not about escaping as soon as it gets difficult. This is not about extending yourself out there too much, right? Sometimes people think that being a light worker or doing service means that you just keep sharing of yourself, giving. It's not exactly true. And Knight of Pentacles knows he plans his journey for the long run. You know, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you need to be able to last for a long time. And if you're all constantly giving everything out there, then, you know, what's going to happen a little bit along, like down the road, right? You need to learn to replenish resources. And that's what I get with this card. You see, like this is, to me, this is like a field without anything there, not a fruitful field, right? Walking away from it, not working away from it. Work on what you have, work on your skills and gifts to be able to stay here for the long run. So you know how to rejuvenate your energy, you know how to protect your energy, and you also know how to be successful in 3D, right? How to bring in abundance. And doesn't mean that you need to, you know, get to level 100 overnight, right? But progress is important, and that's what Knight of Pentacles is about. It's about making progress. It's about being consistent with it. This Knight is not fast. They are walking, you know, slowly but surely. Okay, messages between the twins. I got my Hermit Tarot deck. Let's get some messages from Divine Masculine to Feminines. First of all, what would they like to tell us today? What's going on with them? I could be your hero, baby. They are waiting for you. Maybe. Could be a hero, baby. Maybe. Yeah, so Divine Masculine acknowledges that they want to be that knight in shining armor that will provide everything for you, and you don't need to do anything at all in life. Just be yourself, just enjoy life, and that's all. But they also understand that whatever you are doing, especially if your DM knows what you're up to and what you're trying to achieve with your mission, with your, how you want to change the world, they understand that that's so important. They cannot take that away from you. And as much as ideally they'd like you to be, available just for themselves, have you all to themselves, they understand that this is super important. So they're like, okay, I'm still this maybe energy, like I'm still figuring out the middle ground. How is it working? Yeah, how is it that we are, extensions of each other? We have the same soul, but still, we're supposed to be individuated and, have our lives, even, what I'm trying to say. That sometimes there are codependent couples that are completely involved in each other's business. Like they do everything together, talk about everything. They're like constantly watching each other. And I'm talking more about this, like having where each person has a space of their own where they can experiment, where they can come up with something, they can achieve something, not necessarily having to ask for permission or, to have your partner, watch and know of every single step that you're making. Have that freedom. Like today, I really want to share and I'm excited, you're my best friend, you're my partner, I want to share with you. And maybe tomorrow I don't feel like sharing yet. This is my own, mind lab, and I want to spend some time there experimenting. And I'll tell you later. Something like that, having that freedom. From divine feminines to masculines. All right, that one was before that we had wrongful advice and be more selfish. So with this card, I'm getting that divine feminines are saying, take care of yourself, divine masculines, remember about self-love, self-nurture. Again, we need you to be available for the long run, not to exhaust yourself and lose any motivation. But don't be selfish, don't be self-indulgent. There is a difference between those things, right? And wrongful advice, sometimes you can go that way to a more egocentric way just because of somebody's advice, somebody's opinion. So use your own discretion. It will serve you well. It will serve you in the best possible way when you're making the decision that you're making. Listen to your heart and not to someone else's advice. This is not going to be a good advice in this case. Okay, I hope this has been useful for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon.